And for
This is what I
reference,
feel like
for
telling
folks who
people.
don't know, too, he was talking about back when XRP was at 40 cents, everybody was fighting over, oh, I don't want to buy now because it might go to 30 cents. It was between 30 and 50 cents. You're arguing over 10, 20 cent difference. Now the sucker's already done a 10 bagger. It's
Yeah.
doing the same thing here.
And I'll bring it up again. I'll bring it up one more time to share with everyone. If you see this in any chart, this is what phase five is designed to do. It's designed to make you like bite your teeth over these movements when you're not realizing that this is just an accumulation range. It's a very normal and healthy accumulation range from a technical perspective, from a fundamental perspective. Now the question is $2 XRP fair value? I mean, perhaps it's finally that at a fair value. I think actually Ethereum is finally back at a more fair value. I personally think so. I think that we had way too much nonsense being built on ETH, and now it's back at a more reasonable, like, is 4,000 reasonable? Why should it be? Shit's slow, it's expensive as fuck. It's pretty much garbage, no offense. I mean, I can't build a blockchain, so I should probably calm down. I'm not trying to get too
Oh,
spicy here, but my point is that these things are all speculation. Everything that's happening.
I
So if we
love it.
start
You're singing for me, brother. I've been talking about how cooked Ethereum is for a while because they got the ETFs last year and it didn't break up into a new all-time high. Like you said, it got close. But I mean, the Bitcoin ETFs were able to push it up and send it into a new paradigm. The Ethereum ETFs, well, it's just been lackluster. I mean, ETH is lagging so hard. So keep on going, brother. You're singing to me.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of like starting to assess what exactly is that's going on here with the entire market, and I do believe ETH plays a role in it, but I'm starting to open up my eyes to the fact that oh man, this comes full circle to where today's interview started, where we were talking about like I'm trying to remember exactly, so maybe you could help me with remembering, but we were kind of just talking about it's not enough. We went up 1,000, 300%, 400%. Like it's really not enough for people, right? And
Hmm.
I want to just harp on this for a moment, how desensitized crypto investors are specifically, where we see 100% move in our assets and we're like, oh, whatever. But meanwhile, like a stock investor would be like feeling like they've hit the jackpot. And
Yep.
for us, it's like never enough. So I think that also comes back to like where's fair value in our reality? It doesn't even exist because this is mostly digital fairy dust, like at the end of the day. And we're giving meaning to it more as communities online than actual real world use. You
Hmm.
feel me?
Yep.
So
100%.
the way this is unfolding is like perhaps this time around we're waking up to that everything will be repriced in the whole world, whether that be during Trump's administration or that be the one after, I don't care. We're moving into what I'm calling the Aquarian economy. It's the economy of the Aquarian age, where
Hmm.
we will see identity no longer as it was. I mean, I believe we've also been seeing that as early as Obama's administration with all of the rhetoric going there. And then now that we're seeing Trump back here, day one, he's taken away a lot of the stuff that was being like programmed into the soft skulls of the world
Hmm.
during the Obama and Biden time. And then now we're like, oh man, what I feel good, but the market's down, and this is positive again, but this is not so good, and all my drop shipping businesses are gonna stop working soon because of the tariffs. Like this is such chaotic times, and I think what I'm trying to reveal here before we finish off with this analysis is like this is actually quite a good thing because it will make us grateful again. I think we will eventually become grateful as investors, specifically crypto investors again. And everything in 2020 and 2021, in my opinion, showed me how scary and dangerous investing is from a retail perspective because no one wants to take profits in this market. No one wants to de-risk. People laugh at people who talk about de-risking. People were laughing at me when I was de-risking my Bitcoin at 47K to buy like a 35-cent XRP. Who do you think won that exchange?
Yep.
Did I win by Bitcoin going up 150% or did I win by having my XRP play go up 500? Which one is it?
Hmm.
But no one sees it for what it is. And they get upset and point fingers at people and tell you you're wrong. And I'm like, damn, man, we needed this. And I think by 2026, we'll start to become more grateful again, I think, to even be a part of this game. And I'll will sit back and have this conversation like old men being like, remember the 30 cent XRP? You know, like it's gonna be that. And I hope people are waking up to what we're saying. But I think this overlay right here is pretty amazing. I'm not gonna shrink it down to try to make it perfect, but let me do my best to kind of make sense of what I'm showing you here, that there are these major moves in ETH from cycle top to this major low right there, and then the shift back to the upside, a return back to the lows, another shift up, this V-shaped recovery in alignment with the C19 crash, the recovery, the peak over here, and then a major release in energy topping there. Now it's started to decouple, but what I'll teach you is what happened over here. It was the start of a total lunar cycle. Lunar eclipses started kicking in over here. That's what just happened here in March.
Mm.
So this big drawdown after this Christmas tree top, it was right there into the start of a new eclipse season. And then this rally that we had was right before the second total or the second eclipse of the cycle. Well, the next eclipse that's coming up will be on September 7th. So I'm overlaying this, and what it's showing is that we could still have like a little bit more bottoming going on for altcoins through, let's just say, May, but it would all be because Bitcoin dominance is just continuing to rage up to like 70%. And in that moment, as long as the stock market is looking pretty good and USDT dominance is kind of keeling over, we can see XRP back at the 240 range. We could see ETH back at like the 2000 range all throughout this May timeframe. But the true release I'm feeling is actually in alignment with this move right here, this July and
Mhm.
August. And
Mhm.
if you see where this fractal tops out, funny enough, but by the way, guys, I'm not saying we're going to go to a $13,000 ETH. This fractal I'm just showing you is more of the major pivots, which so far, a lots of them are matching up. You could see that right there. Perfect bottom from the top, perfect bottom right there, perfect top, etc.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
release in energy into July, August, perhaps a very early September. You know what this aligns with, bro? It aligns with the 1929 market, the market that moved us into the Great Depression. Like, I'm not saying we're going to move into a Great Depression 2.0, but with what I laid the foundation for earlier, because some of you might be like, Waters, what the hell are you talking about with the everything becoming repriced and all that? Well, that's what 2026 and 2027 is going to be. It's going to be a great repricing. Why? Because AI is coming. So everything I just said in that riff, in that stream of consciousness, it adds up to what's the outlook of the direction of our future. In
Mhm.
2026, as early as July, the city of Austin, Texas, will be allowing robotaxi fleets to be street ready. And I do believe that throughout the end of 2026, 2025, we're talking about months away, guys. Throughout the end of this year, we'll start to see more of these implementations city by city, like we did with something like Uber, where it just took city by city until now it's across the globe.
Mhm.
What does this mean? Well, think about this, what it's going to do to the labor force. So why are they like collapsing everything right now? Because they're gonna do what they've said they were gonna do. These technocrats are going to push in more of or they're gonna push out the gig workers and they're gonna replace a lot of the gig workers with autonomous vehicles and humanoid robots. It's not an opinion anymore. We saw last year the company Tesla themselves introduced this. It's not a meme.
Well, it's happening
Everything.
in Phoenix right now too. I was just down in Scottsdale, and the
Yeah,
Waymo
Waymo.
vehicles are driving all around, and I scaring me to death too. I'm crossing the sidewalk, looking at that thing. Like, "Hey, you gonna make a move here or what?" You know, it's scary when you first see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a thing. And I think a lot of people they hate to hear this, but you mentioned before that you wanted to discuss future outlook. And I kind of prepared the stage for that, like the future wealth plan and like how to go about the rest of this cycle until we get to a moment where it's pretty obvious that the grand plan all along was to do what Trump said within like a week of his uh becoming president, he said that he's going to make America the blockchain and artificial intelligence capital of the world.